Hey guys, what's going on? Well, I was in Home Depot the other day and I was kind of thinking about, I was picking up some stuff and I thought, well, you know, I need to get something to put my parts in because, you know, I kind of need to get it together. And I came up with this, and it's not anything fancy, but it's nice. And by the way, this radio is such a good radio. I mean, I just really like it. Something very nice might be happening to this radio, and this radio might be making a very good transformation soon. If it doesn't, it's such a kick-ass radio. I like it more and more the more that I use it. It's just a great radio all the way around. But getting back to the parts, yeah, but I'm not going to say exactly what I might have done to this. I'll just leave that as a surprise, but yeah, it may make a transformation. I don't know. Hopefully it will, if everything falls into place. Anyway, but yeah, the 2500s are just great radios. I really like them. They're light, they're small, and they've got a lot of power. They're APCO B25 digital, you know, and that's what you want. Anyway, back onto the parts. So I got this. This is what I came up with. It's wall mountable, which is nice. Nothing fancy, but damn it, I think it'll do the job. Although I need like 3 of them because this is just this isn't all my parts. I've got more than this, and but I did need to get at least some things organized, and these are the main things that I kind of wanted to get organized. But what I've got in the first bay, it's nice because, you know, I mean, I can see into all of this stuff, so it's good. And the first set, by the way, these things lock into this, and that's nice because they will not fall out, will not go anywhere. They're in there until you pull them out. But yeah, what I've got, oh, I don't know, surveillance earpiece in there, gaskets. Those things are really good. You can get these anywhere. And when these things come into play, and they really make these chargers, the feet fall off of them. And it's just a fact, you know, these feet don't last forever. And when they do go out, pick yourself up. They're called bumpers. Pick yourself up a set of these and just replace the feet, because you get them wobbly. Go out and get some bumpers, and you know, when they go bad, you put them on. They look professional. They look like they were meant to be on the unit, and they look good. And let's see, got a lot of antennas here. In this batch I've got, they're all OEM Motorola. They're 403, 470. I may have, those are all 403, 470. A lot of them are new. I've got a couple used ones in the mix. I'm not going to get them out because they're just fine where they are. Oh, I don't know how that, yeah, that's right. But yeah, I need to go through these. This antenna here is the 800 megahertz, and that's a really nice antenna. You know, you compare that to a wideband clip. Well, let's just compare it to a stubby helical. See the difference? Now that's an 800 megahertz. Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Police Department, I believe, it was one of the agencies in California. They used these, they requested a company to actually make these antennas and to make them better than Motorola, and this is what they came up with. And they're hard to get. The special forces actually use these in limited quantity. I don't know where, and I don't know why, and I don't really care, but just as a point of note, they did sell some to the special forces in the military, and they're 800 megahertz. They're good antennas, they're hard to find, they're well built, and they exceed Motorola spec. So you can always tell an antenna is OEM Motorola. People have asked, how can you tell? Okay, see the circumference around the base? Number one, you've got a colored insulator. All the knockoff antennas will have a red insulator on them. That's pretty much, unless you're looking at a VHF, they will have either a red insulator or they will have no color on that. Also, around the base, you've got all the way around the circumference, there's no break in there. Now, on a knockoff Motorola that is stamped Motorola, which I do have, and they're not bad, but they're not made very well. There are breaks on each side. I'll get to it. But anyway, yeah, I've got some concentric, those are really hard to get, by the way. Concentric switch rings for the MTS. I'd like to get some dials, but I've got some knobs for Jedis, XDS knobs and things. I've got this one actually. That is an HT1000, but I don't know why it's in there. I gotta move that. But gaskets for the HT1000 Jedi series and all those Jedi series. But anyway, that's first bay. I'll go through this quick. It's nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, but it's a good, if you're looking, if you've got parts for radios and they're, you need to find something for them. These are good. I mean, it's just it's a simple thing. And I mean, everybody's got these things, and there's nothing fancy about them. But it's a nice way to keep your stuff. It keeps the dust off of them. And these are wideband Motorola's in here. I don't know how many I have, but I've got quite a few. The other ones are on the radios themselves. These are red insulators, by the way, and those are VHF. But you can tell, here we go. Perfect example. Okay, you see those two breaks on both sides there? That signifies a bogus Motorola antenna, even though it says Motorola on it. Now, these antennas are really good. They perform well. I've got no problem with these antennas. I've got problems with other stubby antennas, but not these. These are very good antennas. But Motorola actually color codes the base, even though it's solid. But you see the two breaks on either side? Compare that to this. And what I have a problem with is the stubbies. When you go to twist these on, sometimes that sheath will come off. Piss poor. But on these, you don't have that problem. And believe me, I've torqued these on tight. Got XTS 3000 shit clips is what I'll call them. I hate those things, but they do the job. Got various, these are all the same. They're all brand new, by the way. All OEM Motorola's, with the exception of those. I think maybe one or two of those might be. No, I don't think they are. But they say Motorola on them. They say VHF. And another way that you can tell is a lot of times they'll stamp Motorola on them, but they won't put VHF or UHF. especially on a Jedi, wideband Jedi whip. They won't put, like if it's an 800 megahertz, it'll just say Motorola on it. If it's a 900 megahertz, just Motorola. If it's UHF, just Motorola. They won't put that. When you see that on there, that's a good indication that they're genuine. But look at the base, because that's a giveaway. Anyway, yeah, I've got some good knobs. These are all knobs that were taken off of various radios. This is an old style knob. Now note that on this knob and on, they actually switched this out. This is the new model, and that actually corresponds. What that does is that slides into a groove that is built into the plastic insert that turns that knob and secures it very well. And it's good to have that on there. These are actually very good too, because they have a rubber surround to do it. But I still prefer, and on all the NYPD or NYFD knobs, they have that. That's a good thing. But yeah, I've got backup knobs. These knobs are knobs that came off radios when I tried to take the knobs off of the radios. Well, sometimes those will come off just like this. When that happens, leave them on. Don't go pulling them off, because when you go to switch out one of your FDNY knob and you want to put your stock knob back on, if you are going to sell it and you want to keep that knob and move it onto another radio, now, you know, it's better just to sell it with the thing on there. But if you really are hell-bent on doing that, you can take hemostats and you can take a small screwdriver and you can actually work this out. You can't get this out from the way it's in here. If you try to take something to that and try and pull that off of there, you're going to either destroy the plastic or you're going to fuck up the insert. So don't do that. Just leave it on. Take the insert off of the main base right around the shaft of the volume control. I'll show you that in a minute. Anyway, yeah, that's the second batch. Then this is the third batch. These are various antennas that I have. I've got some stubbies for the HT. These are UHF, I believe. No, they're VHF stubbies. Okay, so I've got the wideband stubbies and I've got this, or widebands and I've got the stubbies. These are various, this is an actual OEM Motorola antenna. It's the only OEM Motorola stubby that I've got, and it's kind of hard to come by. This is the only one that I've found that actually is of quality that I would trust. Any other stubby that you get that says Motorola like this, if it's got a red insulator and it's got those cuts, it's not going to last very long. I mean, be careful when you screw it on. I've got some 800, I've got some 900, and I've got some UHF in here. I've got some dipole antennas somewhere. May not be in this batch, but I've got a few miscellaneous stubbies. Those are special. I believe those go on the Walrus series. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I've got several of these. Bought those in a lot. I've got more of these. I just haven't gotten to them yet. But that's the third one, and here's the fourth one. And this is probably the one that I like the best. It's got the side contact dust covers, and it's got the FDNY knobs. And here is the insert. That insert, you can go in with a very fine screwdriver and a pair of hemostats, and you can gently take this off, but it's very difficult. And sometimes be careful when you take this off. Make sure that that is not stuck the way this is, because you'll have to replace it. That's got to go back on the radio. Don't put an insert on without that seal around the base. You've got to have that on there. That is what they look like when they're off the knobs. And these are just various FDNY knobs. Damn things are expensive. They're not cheap, but they're good. And that's the center detent, and it also is reinforced with the rubber grabber grooves. So that's good. I do have some various MTS 2000 and Jedi new knobs. That one was an old one, but I had to migrate it over. These are fuses for the ACT chargers. I just got a lot of them. Not that I needed them, but I had a lot of chargers at one time, and I've only had to replace a fuse. I've never had to actually replace a fuse that I replaced. So that's a good sign. This is a Motorola tool, XTS3000, that everybody should have that's got an XTS3000. Do not remove a case without this. Do not pay more than $7 for it. If you do, you're getting hosed. It's a Motorola part, and you can get it from the Motorola dealer for about $7, maybe $8 tops. This is the XTS. These are the side contact dust covers. I've got the ones that are already on the radios. Then I got just a XTS 3000 logo, and I wanted to have an extra one just in case I got a radio and it didn't have that, because there had been a couple. And here's some HT 1000 or HT Aura series dust covers. But yeah, it's just, you know, a general. I've got more parts, but right now I needed to get these kind of in order, and I think I did a pretty good job with it. That carry handle I'm going to probably take off and just wall mount it and keep it in my shop and just use it for parts, because it's a very good shelving system. Cheap, you know, I mean, it's cheap, it's light, it does what it needs to do, and everybody has one. You know, it's not anything it's not anything special. But if you do need to keep your parts, don't keep them scattered around, don't keep them in other boxes. Take them out of the plastic. But if you keep, if you have some things that you're going to resell, keep them in the plastic, because they will resell better that way. But these are mainly this is just kind of a replacement kit, just an emergency kit for if I get a radio in, I'll have those parts. I do have other parts. I've got belt clips, I've got a lot of other stuff. A lot of things won't fit into this, but I may get one or two more of these and put some more parts in them and kind of separate some things. But yeah, it's a nice little get up. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Golly gosh, 1841, I can't believe it. Anyway, guys, if you're still watching, man, you're diehard. Later on, guys, I hope that didn't bore you. I hope you had a couple cigarettes or a beer or something, a cup of coffee, anything to get through this. But yeah, if you're looking for something, to keep your parts in, that's a damn good thing to have. Plus, you can see them, and I mean, it's just a basic fishing. It's more like a fishing thing, but it's a good thing. Home Depot, and they lock in, they don't fall out, and that's nice. If you did want to carry it, you could, but I'm going to take that handle off and wall mount it. Anyway, guys, take it easy later on. You're a diehard if you're still watching. Take it easy.